Hello everyone, in this tutorial video we are going to start a new topic which is tube well. In our previous video we had covered the open well, and this is the second type of the well that we are going to cover now, that is tube well. Now there were certain drawbacks which were regarding the open well. That's why in most part of the country where there is alluvial soil, fine alluvial soil, we go for the tube well because it has certain advantage over the disadvantage of the open well, which includes some of its disadvantages, like the whatever the yield that we get from these type of open wells are very limited to 3 to 6 liter per second. Moreover, we can't have any mechanical aids provided in order to enhance the yield from such type of well. Moreover, it is also not economical to do so. So in order to obtain a very large discharge, so tube well is considered to be a better alternative. From there we can have near about 150 to 300 liters per second capacity. So this have a certain advantages over the open well. That's why if we want to have greater yield, we go for the tube well. So the discharge of an open well is small. There are that is small. Why? Because this open well can tap only the topmost uh, or at the most the next level of bearing stratum. Because if we are constructing the open well, then we will only go for the excavation. So if we are excavating, then obviously we won't go too deep if we are excavating. So whatever the water that we extract is mainly found on the top layer of the water bearing strata. So water from the open well can only be also drawn at a velocity equal to or smaller than the critical velocity, due to which the whatever the water that is far below the surface of the earth, that can't be used. More important, the tube wells, they have obviously the larger discharges and obviously the greater velocity. Okay, so since we have enormous storage of the groundwater in India, we go for the tube well, because if you are constructing either a shallow or deep tube well, this has a greater potential to give larger yield of the water. So if we go for a construction of tube well in the alluvial soil, then mostly the alluvial soil is found in the Indo-Gangetic plain, which are rich in the such type of geological formation or water formation, which are capable of storing large amount of water. So if we go through in such type of soil and try to extract the water, then they have a geological water bearing strata aquifer, which have tremendous capacity of storing the water. And if you go through the construction of either shallow or deep tube well, then we can just very easily can extract water whatever required by us. Okay, so depending upon the depth, we have classified this into basically two types, which is either deep or shallow tube wells. So if you go for the deep tube well, then its depth goes from 70 to 300 meter. Okay, and this actually taps more than one aquifer, because if you're going so deep, so obviously there will be so many aquifers which will be lying in its path. We will see in the next slide, that will be more clear to you. So if you go so deep, obviously there will be so many aquifers, and through them, all those aquifers, these tube wells, they penetrate through the water bearing strata, and depending upon whether it is slotted or strainer type of the tube well, it receives water radially. Okay, so depending upon that, it will have certain yield like 200 to 220 liters per second on an average of 40 to 45 liter per second, which is quite large in comparison to the shallow well. Moreover, if you want to go on and just construct these tube wells, you need to go through a drilling process by a heavy duty rotatory drilling rigs. Okay, so if you use such type of percussion drilling rigs, then only you can go and construct such type of deep tube wells. Okay, and we have got thousand and thousand of such type of deep tube wells in our country. But besides that, we also have shallow tube wells, which is having only 20 to 70 meters of depth, and they tap mainly the top layers of aquifer, and whatever the water that is present, we just extract those water. and these also have a lower yield of about 15 to 20 liters per second. And if we want to construct, we go for a drilling by light rigs and cable tools or water jet methods. Some of these water jet methods that you may have seen by the municipality when they go for the construction of such type of tube wells, that they mainly go for this water jet methods. And again, there are more than lakhs and lakhs of such type of shallow tube wells around every corner of our country. Next, apart from the alluvial soil, if you go for the construction of such type of tube wells in the hard rocky soils, then more often than not it is not favorable until and unless there are no any alternate means of extracting the groundwater. Then only we go mainly for this hard rocky. Why? Because we basically need to penetrate through the tough layers of the earth. So, and if it is a hard rocky, then it is quite difficult to go through such a hard strata. But if there is no any alternative, then we have to go and construct these tube wells by using this hole hammer rings, that is also known as DTH rings over here. And they are usually in depth of about 100 meter to 300 meters in depth, and such type of tube wells are also known as bore wells. You may have heard of this bore well. So these are basically bore wells. Similarly, we also categorize these types of the tube wells basically into two types, that is cavity type tube wells and other is the screen type tube wells. So if we just go one by one, so at first we will cover this cavity type tube well. So in this cavity type of tube well, what actually happens is that we go through and construct such type of cavity type tube wells down to the various layers of the earth. We go and just construct this well, okay, and this passes through various motor layer, aquifer, then again aquiclude, through various geological saturation formation layer, and then it finally goes through the water bearing aquifer. Then one of the main difference which separate this cavity type of tube well to the strainer or slotted type of tube wells is that such type of tube wells only extract water from the bottom of the wells. They will not extract water from the sides of this well. They will only extract from the deep down bottom, and that is in a form of cavity. In the case of the strainer or slotted, we will see that they will have a radial movement of the water inside the well, but here it follows a spherical path, and by this water enters into this cavity. During the starting phase of the construction of such type of wells, what actually happens is that these cavity which are actually formed down below of the earth is quite small, but as soon as we just take out water from this well, and when the velocity exceeds the critical velocity of the water, in that case that actually results in a piping effect. In that effect, what actually happens that whatever the soil particles are there, they gets lifted up, and this comes out during the initial phase of the extraction of the water. But as soon as the velocity decreases below the critical velocity, then this lifting of the soil particle reduces, and at the same time this cavity size is also increased, and furthermore it extracts more and more water from this aquifer down to the bottom, and then we can after that we can extract water from such type of well. So this is known as basically a cavity type tube well, which is far more different from what we see as a strainer or slotted pipe type of the tube well, which is better in comparison with the such cavity type of tube well, because in this case we use a screen well, okay, that may be either of a strainer or slotted type. So we will just go and see both of them one by one. At first we will see the strainer type of tube wells, and we will see how that is different from this slotted type of the tube well. So let us understand this via the diagram so that it will be more clear to you. So this is a very typical example or diagram of a very strainer type of tube well. Here, as you can see, that we have just digged in a tube well over here, and that consists of a clay layer, and then a aquifer, then a sand and gravel layer, or or we can say aquifer, followed by a mortar layer or aquiclude. Okay, so these aquifer are found in an alternate layer, and that is being separated by a impervious layer that doesn't helps in the entering of the water in this well. Okay, so what actually basically happens that we dig in a pipe in there, and just we wrap around this pipe's strainer. Okay, so how this strainer basically look like we will see later on. So just try to understand that here what we do, we just try to dig in the pipe inside the surface of the earth, and we wrapped around these pipes are the strainer. These are the strainer, and this is the aquifer, and this is the aquifer. What happens, there is a radial movement of the water in this aquifer and in this aquifer, and then water enters inside the this tube well through this perforated strainer. Okay, so and then that water is finally extracted from the top of this over the ground surface through any mechanical aids like pumping and other methods. And at the bottom we have a plug which prevents the entry of any impurities from there. So basically thing is that now we will go through and understand what is basically a strainer, so that you will understand this diagram quite better. So what is basically a strainer? This is a very typical example of a diagram of a strainer. You can see that this is a perforated pipe, and that is having a small dia of holes that has been made over this pipe, and that has been wrapped by the a wire mesh. So what basically happens that and that is basically a strainer. As you can see here, these are the strainer. So what basically happens, the water from these surrounding aquifers along with the soil particles tries to enter in this perforated pipe, and water goes inside of this perforated pipe, and whatever the impurities like soils, clay particles, impurities, gravels are there, they are just remain outside of there. Okay, and then the water is again then pumped inside through this pipe. The important thing is that whatever the size of this perforation and the size of this wire mesh are there, both are kept to be same. Okay, so that there is no any change in the velocity of the water which is entering this pipe. So that is important thing to remember over there. So that is basically a strainer type of the tube well, where we use a strainer, and this strainer just takes on the radial water from here through in this aquifer, and this is a plain pipe. Why? Because there is no any perforation over there, so that's why it is a plain pipe. And then we just take out water from this strainer type of tube well. The last one is the slotted type of the pipe well. So just now we will quickly go through this, what is a slotted type and how it is different from a strainer type. So in this, what we actually do, we just try to construct a bore hole. So this is a bore hole, and as you can see here, if I could just zoom it for you, just wait a second. Yes, I think if you can see right now. So this is basically well pipe dia. Okay, as you can see by this arrow, and this is the size of the bore dia. Okay, so this is the outer one and this is the inner one, and that gap is there, and that is 20 to 20 mm thick gap. Okay, so let us study just one by one. So what we do, at first we go and dig in the borehole, and again there is alternate layer of aquiclude and aquifer, and here we are not using the strainer. Instead of that, we are using a slotted pipe, which is also known as screen. So in these pipes there are slots are given, and through these slots wire enters in that pipe, and then it is then pumped through any mechanical aids through the pumping machine. Okay, so and here also what we do, we just try and put in some packaging between this bore and the well, and that packaging is done by using a gravel or sand particles, and then we pour these packaging materials from the ground layer, and then we fill that packaging material from the ground level to the bottom, and consequently here also we just fill the packaging from the top to the bottom layer. Okay, so whenever the water tries to come inside of this pipe through the radial movement, it will at first grow these particles and they will purify it. It will just remove out the impurities from there, and then the water will finally flow inside the slotted pipe and then it will come out. So that is the main difference between the slotted pipe and a strainer type. Okay, so I think you have understood both of them, and a fine difference is there between both of them. Okay, so whatever the gravel pack that we have used between the well and the bore well, they also have certain specification regarding the material that we can use in between them, and the way they actually help in extracting the water from the various layers of the aquifers. Moreover, if you go into the market to buy such type of the filters, then you will get the precast gravel packs. Okay, so there will be a precast gravel packs and they will be just wrapped over these slotted pipes. So whatever the slotted pipes are there, they will be just wrapped by these precasted gravel packs, and this assembly is known as ashing filter, and you can just go in the market and purchase these, and then you can use them for the this borewell construction. Okay, so that's till now. I think in the next tutorial video we are going to study about how we are going to construct or design such type of tube well, and after that we'll go and see some numericals. Okay, thank you.